Do you love to sit at the water's edge with your toes in the sand, a drink in your hand? Do you love to wake up early in the morning with a really great book, a hot cup of coffee? But I know you feel guilty when you do something just for yourself. But I know that a heart filled up is a heart that loves well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Follow the joy, follow the joy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Follow the joy.
I'm a singer, songwriter, author, storyteller, mom, wife. I'm a lot of things. Mainly, I'm a child of God, though. That's mainly what I am. I was thinking back to my childhood and just how, I had I think it was a Fisher-Price record player, and I had just a few albums that my parents gave me for my birthday, and I would just spin those albums and learn all the words and just, we didn't have phones, thank God, phones and iPads and all that, but I just remember music being such a escape for me. It was just a place that I could go. It was like medicine for my soul, even as a very young child. And there were two pianists in my life one was my grandmother. She lived right next door, and she played this old spinet piano. And just listening to her play, she played everything in sort of a ragtime style, but I was just so mesmerized when she played. And then probably more important than her was a man named Joey Winters, who we went to church with. And my parents were both musicians. My dad played the drums, and my mom sang. And I remember going to choir practice. It was like the best time of the week because, number one, Joey always made this dessert called dump cake. It was like a combination of just white cake, butter, and fruit cocktail. And it doesn't sound great, but when you smelled it baking, that plus the singing and the laughter and friendship, I was like, just carried away. I mean, I loved being in the middle of all that. I loved hearing the praise music. I loved hearing them sing about the Lord's faithfulness and just the camaraderie, the friendship that they shared, and that they traveled some as a group. It just impacted me. It impacted me in a strong way. And I think I don't think I started seeing myself as a musician until much later.
My name's Ian McLeod, and I'm Rebekah's husband. She had songs that were given to her by our Lord when she was in her 20s. And that's when the first album and the second album dropped right after that. But she's been doing music all her life.
I'm Lauren. I am Rebekah's daughter and oldest daughter at that. So I have spent my life being the oldest kid and doing all the right things and trying to keep my younger siblings out of trouble. I've also been my mom's sidekick. I feel like I've been like a close friend for my mom too. I've seen her in her best and in her worst, and I've seen how she can be a rock and how she can crumble at times under pressure. And I think I've been there through all of that, and I know her heart and how beautiful it's been through all of it.
God began to show me over time as because I kind of walked away from him and came back in my late 20s. And he began to show me that my identity, my call, my gift, my purpose was as a communicator. And there's lots of ways that gift expresses itself. Just one is music. And at first I tried to build an identity around the music, but that didn't work. Because anything that you build an identity around that's not God can be taken away. And actually, there was a time when I left music behind for many years, actually. And at first I kind of fell apart because I thought, who am I without it? But God began to show me who he was, and he began to show me that my foundation was in him.
In her early work, it was her wanting to achieve success or fame. What everyone wants, right? But I think over our 32-year journey together, she's at the stage now where it's not about her. It's about him.
So it had been a long time for her. It had been a long time since she had written a lot of songs like that, and same for me. I think when she would say stuff like, I don't think my songs are going anywhere, what's the point? It really rubbed off on me as well. because I started getting that same voice in my head of, well, what's the point? Because I wasn't going anywhere with my music either. I wasn't playing shows, I wasn't selling my music anywhere, I wasn't getting a check from CD Baby, nobody was streaming my music. And so it was like the confirmation, I was seeing the confirmation of the voice, of that voice of nobody's gonna do anything with the music, so what's the point? And so hearing her like be excited to write again, regardless of anything that she had said before, was just like a new, fresh wind for me to begin writing again as well. So
I think I've always known that there was a gift, but when you face so many different disappointments and it just feels like life keeps pushing you back, and you just keep landing in the gravel, landing in the dirt. I don't know. I look back and I'm like, well, why did I stop? Like, why did I? But you know, at the end of the day, I just have to say, you know what? God knew. He knew what I could handle and what I couldn't. And what was really cool was the day before we drove here to record this album, my husband got he got a memories on his phone from exactly 20 years ago, and there it was. Like, I was in the studio for the very first time, recording my first album exactly 20 years ago, and I thought, how does God remember? Like, we lose track of time, but he doesn't. And I think dates are very important to him, because I had no idea it was exactly 20 years. And not only that, but I was the exact age that my daughter is, who's here, killing the background vocals today, the exact age that she is now. And it just really, I got very emotional. I thought, man, God is faithful. Like, when we give up and when we think that something is dead, he's like, no, I haven't forgotten.
The transformation I've seen with Becky is her not being so down on herself, but really accepting the gifts that God has given her. Her humor, her writing ability, her ability to coach, to be a mom, a wife. I mean, she's just all the things. And frantic or not, I keep telling her, do it afraid, and she does it afraid. And I tell her all the time, you do your best work afraid. And it's so incredible.
Again, I think these songs wouldn't exist without my wife's faith and knowing Jesus, because it's hard to speak someone's love unless you know them. And so I think listeners are gonna hear that through the music. They're gonna hear the love of the Lord come through and how much he loves us.
worthy of it. And sing the low part now. Worthy.
So the low part is, worthy of it, worthy of it. Do it
That's
again?
it.
Do it again?
Worthy of it. Do it again. Worthy. Worthy. I'm singing it right now. It's so hard.
Oftentimes, as human beings, we don't think that we're worthy of the things that God has called us to do, or even to just be. But in the song, she's saying, stop thinking that way. You know, it's like telling a father that your child is no good. Who does that? That doesn't bring anybody any honor, any glory. And she says, stop thinking that way. Stop thinking you're not worthy of it.
I get in mental knots about things, and he just keeps reminding me, you know, this is my job, right? You know, this is me. Like, my husband even remind me when I get, you know, kind of freaked out about things. He's like, this is not about you, boo. And I need him to remind me of that. It's not about me. So I think he's so instrumental in reminding me that, you know, what he is doing is so much bigger than just writing a song or coming to a studio. Like, he's building his kingdom through me and through so many of us in ways that I can't even fathom. So I think letting down the guard, letting go of the fear is mainly what he's helped me to do, is just continually turn it over. Like, this is your deal, this is your project, these are your songs.
We were talking this morning, and I said, it's a man in the Bible. It wasn't Moses, but it was during Moses' time. And he was 80 years old, and he went to God. And he says, I'm stronger now than when I was 40. I don't know who that man was, but I was like, girlfriend, the best is yet to come. Yes.
There is an appointed time, and I don't like God's timing. Can I just say that? And people say, oh, he's never late. I'm like, no, God, you could have done this when I had less wrinkles. Come on. This is a year, especially this 2025 is a year of open doors. There's something that's stirring, I feel like, in the heart of God for those of us like me who have put things on the shelf, who put dreams on the shelf and made sacrifices, honestly, to raise a family. I mean, to do other things that were necessary and were good. But there's a time, and I was thinking about Proverbs 31, about the end. It says, let her good works praise her in the gates. And there's a time to be at home and raising kids and focused on building that family. But there's also a season to come out and see, look what God has done. And these are gifts that he's given me. And I'm very passionate about telling other people, telling women that it's time to use your gifts. Stop hiding them. Stop thinking, well, I'm not good enough, or well, maybe later, or well, maybe when the kids go to college, or maybe when, I'm not working anymore. No, it's time to do it now. So create now.
When I tell you I love you, lay it down, lay it down.